What is shaking, everybody? It is a busy week here on the Tom Tolbert Show. We got the draft coming up, so we'll have a bunch of football guests joining us. We'll have basketball guests joining us. I think Jay Billis, Mike Breen are going to join us. So we're going to get into some NBA playoffs. We're going to have Craig Bergman come on. We'll talk a little bit about the draft. We'll bullshit our way through it on a Thursday. And then we'll have the draft recap at McKay's in Pleasanton next Tuesday. So if you want to come out for that, that'll feature Matt Mayoko, Matt Barrows, Cam Inman, and myself will be there having some beers, talking 49er football. There it is, right there, 4 p.m., 428 at McKay's. Good. So I checked out the beer garden, and great selection of beer there. One of them is Fieldwork, which is our fine sponsor. And now that the Shark season is over, if you want to head on over to Fieldwork over in China Basin, Giants game, doesn't have to be a Giants game. Don't go today. Today sucks. Today's raining. But if there's a Giants game and it's beautiful outside, it's right there, McCovey Cove, go over there, grab yourself a beer. Mission Rock should be opening fairly soon, so you can go over there and have a beer. And if we could ever get Patrick Bailey to get an RBI, you can get 50% off your beer the very next day. That's happened once. We need more of that. We need more. We need to get people more beers from Fieldwork. So head on over to Fieldwork. They got a ton of locations, but if you want to go to China Basin and check that one out. So it's been far too long. I always said this when football season ended. It wasn't the football season that was ending. I didn't get a chance to talk to Brent anymore. I didn't get a chance to talk to Steve anymore, although I don't really get a chance to talk to Steve anymore anyway. So I'm just kidding. If you're watching this, I'm just Steve's too busy. He's not watching this. What's going on, Brent?
Hey, I'm fired up about McKay's next week. I should fly out. Josh McKay is such a great guy. So is his brother Joel. I met them because they're my oldest daughter's soccer coach. And
really,
Josh took no crap from any girl. He knew like coaching 16-year-old girls. Are you kidding me? It was hilarious. He just did not give in. One game, and he was always relatively calm, but one game he got fired up at the official, and they tossed him. And 10 minutes later, I see this bum-looking guy on the side of the hill. He went on put on a costume.
No, he went Bobby Valentine.
It was outstanding. You gotta love that. Great guy, great entrepreneur. Opened up his beer garden years ago, and it's flourished in Pleasanton.
Dude, you just pop in there. Just go, hello. You see that? Just like walk by us and go, hey guys, mind if I ask a question? That's great that you know him. What a ringing endorsement. That's fair. I thought you were going to say he doesn't take crap from any of the girls, well, except for his wife. And
of course.
But I mean, I guess that's a given. That's implied, isn't it?
Yeah, it is now.
I mean, when you're married, that's just implied. You just sorry,
it's part of the equation.
What you factor that in, and if you don't, it didn't take you long to factor it in. Like as you're going, like okay, hold on, let me factor this in here. I forgot early on. Let me squeeze that right in here between Tuesday and Wednesday as we go. So, draft coming up on Thursday. It's funny. I don't know. Where were you? You know, you got drafted. Either you got drafted by the Steelers or free agent Steelers. Did you get 5th round, 6th round? Were you drafted by the Steelers?
5th round.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Where were you when you got drafted?
So, dude, this is wild. My grandparents lived a couple miles from us, and they were the only ones that had cable. And this crappy little cable station called ESPN had the first only three rounds of the NFL draft on. And the NFL draft started at 8 a.m. East Coast time. So 5 a.m. it started. And I was there thinking that I could be the first overall pick. No, I was there just because. So that, no cell phones, none of that. So I had to give out my grandparents' phone number to all the NFL teams because they want to call you. And so Dana was my girlfriend at the time, and she was living with my grandparents, ironically. And she got 3 different phone calls that morning because every time the phone rings, you're like, woohoo! Like, here I go. Is Dana there? Like, what the? What the hell? That's wrecking the momentum. And so, dude, it was brutal. So after the third round, now I thought I could go on the third. I thought I'd go on the third or the fourth. Third round goes off. They sign off. And fishing with Orlando Wilson comes on. And Orlando was catching bass that day.
Yes, he was. Had a good lure.
Yeah. And I could just feel the emotion like bearing me. And of course, I didn't want to have people, but didn't matter because all my friends showed up. Now they're in the backyard. Now everyone's staying away from me. So I'm just sitting there going, okay, what am I going to do? And so it was probably about, because the picks all of a sudden pick up, right? You know, it's like 5 minutes after the third round or something. And about an hour later, the phone rang, and man, I jumped over, and it was the owner of it was Mr. Rooney. And
wow,
saying, you're our tight end of the future.
Wow.
I mean, I was.
That's big time.
It was wild. And, you know, the Steelers back then, I mean, in the 70s, dominated. So I thought, holy crap, I'm going to Pittsburgh, man. I could get a Super Bowl ring.
Who knew you'd have to come back to the West Coast to get your Super Bowl ring?
Who knew a drunk driver would hit me 2 weeks later? That started a spiral.
You should. Did you ever thank him? Did you ever go back and send him a thank you letter?
The best thing that ever happened here. I could have caught like 16 passes my whole career in Pittsburgh.
No. Or send him a picture of you with your ring on and just like sign it to him.
Hey, you know what the funny thing is? The draft is in Pittsburgh this year.
It is.
I wanted to go announce our pick so badly, like be the guy, like, hey, remember me? I was the 5th round pick of the Pittsburgh Steelers back in 1986.
I was playing poker. I had all my buddies come over, and we were playing cards. So we're sitting around, and we weren't even watching it because I was like, whatever. They'll call me and let me know what's going on. So it wasn't even really a big deal. I don't know when the draft started. I want to say 4 or 5, something like that. So anyway, they came over at 3 and we started an early poker game. So we're playing poker and everything. And I get a phone call. And it was my assistant coach from Arizona, Kevin O'Neill, called me and said, hey, I saw you got drafted by the Hornets. And I was like, I did? They haven't called me yet.
Reminiscent of the Hornets franchise in years to come.
I think they may have called me the next day. Oh, hey, sorry, we didn't get around to it.
Hey, we're just getting around to it. You might not have heard.
Yeah, they did not say I was their power forward of the future. They did not. In fact, probably like 2 or 3 weeks into it, Coach and I didn't get along. Dick Harder was his name. But anyway, he told me, he goes, you know, if you were 6'10", you could play 10 years in this league. I go, well, how does that help me? I'm not.
Thanks for drafting me.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks for the info. You want me to get on Iron Maiden and get stretched out? Like, what are we supposed to like? How about something that's constructive that helps? Didn't help at all. So the draft from when you were drafted, and it's amazing watching the 30 for 30 Elway to Marino. And you just watch what the draft was. Like, it was nothing. It was like the Super Bowl. Like, I love watching old like Super Bowl I highlights. It's like, dude, there's like nobody there. The stands aren't even full. There's a marching band. They have no shows going on. It's just like they just showed up at the park and go, hey, let's play for like supremacy.
It was so great.
Okay, cool.
And everybody had their old goofy helmet phones, or just a helmet. And the guy that would be picking would be the accountant. He'd have glasses on, and they didn't send anybody that had any hierarchy in the rankings. There, it was just like, hey, Billy Bob from personnel. What do you want? You want to sneak out to the draft this year?
Bring a pencil. We're gonna give you some pencil and some note cards. You just write the name down, walk up there and give it to Roselle. I think.
Hey, the great thing is, and this is another draft story, but years later, I had just finished reading Moneyball, and I was at a charity event. Knew Tony La Russa, and in comes Billy Beane, and he introduces me, and I told Billy, I'm like, dude, this is unbelievable. I just finished your book and all this. And he goes, come to the draft. So I'm trying to figure out what year that would have been. It would have probably been in the early 2000s. So I go to the draft, and it's down in the dungeon, and there's a bunch of scouts sitting around with like regular, plug-in phones because there's no cell service, and they're writing picks on the chalkboard. And I'm like, this is amazing. This is like the old school days. Like, it was the best.
You know what
this
it
is unbelievable. This is just like the book.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of old school Vegas, the sports book, where they actually used to write stuff up there. Lakers, Rockets, -3, over under 2, and then when the line would move, they'd erase it and put something up. And now it's all digital. The old school stuff was the best. It was, although I will say this about the baseball draft, they've kind of moved it into the 21st century.
They have.
It doesn't really work because you just don't know anybody. Like you don't know anybody.
You might know like Skeens,
That was yes. Okay.
But that was about it. There'd be one or two guys from the College World Series that you're like, okay, that guy's legit. And then after they came off the board, you're like, who? You got a shortstop out of Davenport, Iowa that went to Davenport High School. And woohoo!
I can't wait to see him in 6 years. It's going to be amazing.
Exactly.
Oh, God. So, yeah, I mean, look, the NFL draft has come a long ways. I mean, it's a massive show now. It's a 3-day event. We get round 1 Thursday, 2 and 3 Friday, and then the rest on Sunday. And I just wanted to have you on to talk about let's first talk about before we get, because this might affect the draft. The Niners signed Trent Williams to a contract over the next couple of years. And I should have it in front. That's what I thought it was, $50 million. And I don't know what's guaranteed, what's not guaranteed out of that $50 million, but I
heard 37. And
37?
Like, wow, that's a big number.
Good for him. I mean, good for him. He knew. He's like, you guys have nothing behind me. Like, you guys are going to have to sign me at some point. And the Niners were trying to hold firm, like, yeah, but we're still not going to give in that easy. He's like, well, I don't care how easy you give in. You're going to eventually you have nothing. Like, we all know it. You know it. Like, you can't bluff with cards face up. Like, I see your cards. You have a pair of 3s. You're not winning, okay? I see them. You see them. I see them. Like, go ahead and fold those up, please. No, I'm going to hang in there a little while. So they get that done. What does that mean for, you think, the Niners draft? And what does it mean for the Niners for next year, having the left side solidified?
Well, I think it's a great day for Niner fans, first and foremost, because that takes like a big question mark off the table. And I think everybody felt like it was going to happen, but you never know. People can get in negotiations, people can get a little hot under the collar or takes things personally. But it's great to have Trent back. 2 years, fantastic. The biggest thing for him, he's a stud, is going to be his health. But I think it takes the sense of urgency off the table. So I think we can hold off till, either the second round or our multiple 4th round picks to take a tackle or two. But we're going to have somebody, that lines up in the near future. Just because of his age and his potential health.
Yeah.
But I think that probably takes off taking an offensive lineman in the first round, which is great. I mean, we're gonna take some offensive linemen, we're gonna take some defensive linemen. It's just the reality. Those are 2 top needs. So I think it is a very big positive for us. And you look at what we did in free agency, and we got our key guys. And so I think from an off-season perspective, we executed as well as anybody.
What did you think of the Mike Evans signing?
Oh, I love Mike Evans. I love it. And it's fantastic. I love how he plays the game. Obviously he's probably become a little bit more of a possession receiver, but if he gets downfield, he's going to get the ball. He's going to high point everybody and come down with balls, 50-50 balls, most of the time. So I think it gives us a great red zone acquisition as well. And so now you have to account for Kittle and Mike Evans in the red zone, and then of course McCaffrey coming out of the backfield. So you can't cover everybody, and by the time you get down to the third cover corner or the third best defensive back, we're going to be crushing people.
Yeah, I mean, you don't sound quite as excited as your grandson. Your grandson is much more excited.
Oh my
He was
gosh.
much more excited.
He is.
He was.
I
He was
forgot
super
about that.
pumped.
He was pumped. Yeah.
That was the best. So where do you see them going first round? Because it seems like you can never discount defensive line. I mean, I think that's kind of what they want their identity to be up front on the defensive line, and it hasn't been that for the past probably 3 years or so. Offensive line, I still kind of get the feeling Kyle thinks like I can coach around that, and I can like the gap isn't that big between round 1 and 4. Like we can get a guy in 4 and still we can get it done. Or wide receiver. So those are the three: offensive line, defensive line, wide receiver.
Yep.
What way would you like to see them go to kind of short them, get them? Because this is a win it season. This is a hey, we're going for it.
This is a win it season. So one thing I do believe is we're going to draft all of those positions, and you know I'd have to be lasered in on someone that they totally love, and maybe there's a chance they trade up some spots. I don't know. We'll get too high up in the draft, but there's a chance they could trade up if there's somebody there that they love. Wide receiver would be my guess if they trade up. Otherwise, I think they'd let people fall to them. Maybe an edge guy if they thought that they could grab somebody that they think is going to make an immediate impact. But I think in terms of linemen now with Trent signing, I don't see that. But by and large, Tom, we need a speed receiver, and we need somebody that can get down the field. And there's a couple guys. I like Cooper from Indiana, and it's just because I saw them play a lot. I did see the kid from Tennessee playing a couple games, and his name is Brazel, I think it is.
Brazel. Yeah, I don't know either. I know you're talking about.
I know that he ran 4.37 at the combine. The kid's 6'4". Now he's a little light. He's a little light, thin, but you can put some weight on him. And I mean, having a kid that's 6'4" that can run 4.37 is legit. And he's kind of projected to go early in the second. If they stayed in place at whatever pick they are, 27, I mean, I take that swing all day long, and unless there was somebody else that they loved. But we need somebody that can get down the field, because we got a ton of guys kind of in that intermediate range speed, but nobody that's a blazer.
But wasn't Watkins supposed to be that guy from Mississippi last year that was hurt? Wasn't he supposed to be kind of a
And then I know that he kind of fell off a little bit, and I just didn't hear that much talk about him. So I guess in theory, that's something, but it's hard to rely. You got to have a couple guys, because these young guys, they can get hurt, they can be mentally not up to speed, and it's just we've got to have somebody on the field that is a threat, because we've got so many fantastic mid-level and underneath guys. I mean, it's if we keep everybody healthy, it's going to be just a huge amount of riches all over the field.
The one guy I really liked, and he's not really a speed guy, so that might not be the guy they're looking for, is Jeremy Bernard out of Alabama. I like him. I watched Alabama play quite a bit this year. I always do. I don't know why. Because my dad grew up in Alabama. He was a Bama fan. Although, come to find out later in life, he was also an Auburn fan. I'm like, what do we do? What are we doing here? He goes, well, I just both of them. I always thought he was Alabama, because Alabama was always way better than Auburn. But come to find out, when Auburn beat Alabama on the kick six, he wasn't even that mad. I was like, well, you don't care that Auburn won? He goes, nah, whatever. That's when I realized my dad wasn't like a huge sports fan. He's like, he watched it, he had fun with it, but he's like, yeah, whatever. I was like, okay, I don't care that much either, but I thought you did.
Meet fans. Oh man, Niners are one of my favorite teams. Who's your other? The Rams. Hey, the Rams and Niners, my number 1 and number 2. You're a scrub. Like what? Like you can't. I like the Niners and the Seahawks. Yeah.
It's like, at least give me one in the AFC.
Yeah, please.
I like, maybe I like the Jets or New England. We just pick somebody else. Like I got an AFC team, an NFC team. Like that's fine. I like the Rams and the Niners. Like, okay, that makes no sense. But I do like
no
Jeremy.
sense.
But I do like Jeremy. I always thought it was Jeremy, but it's Jeremy.
It is Jeremy.
That's that's an interesting name. I don't know if he was around. Maybe he didn't wash his hands growing up, and that's his nickname, Jeremy. I have no idea. Maybe the kids at school gave him that nickname. Hey, Jeremy, wash your hands. Like, what are we doing here? but I do like him. He seemed to like. It's so hard, and this is why I always crack up when around this time of season, everybody becomes an expert on all these players. And I don't know how you do it unless you watch the all 22. Like, all I see is the end of the route and him catching the ball. Like, I don't see separation. I don't see how he runs his routes. I don't see him blocking. I don't see, if he's not the primary receiver, how hard he runs his routes. Like, there's so many things I don't see. So I can't tell you all those things. All I can do is tell you when they threw him the ball, he caught the ball. Like, I did what I saw of him, I liked, and I can't go any further than that. But he's not a speed guy, but he seemed like a guy that would be, kind of Kyle Shanahan's type of guy.
And you know what? If I saw him play a couple times, obviously thought he was good. It's hard to really stand out unless you get a lot of TV time or you just have a inordinate amount of big plays. And so usually I have a better bead on the draft, but it feels like this year there's more names that I'm unfamiliar with than in years past. And I don't know why that is, but it just is. Maybe there's no high profile quarterbacks outside of our first pick. Maybe the kid from Alabama, Simpson goes mid to late first, but outside of that, and then there's a couple wide receivers, but outside of that, it's probably more offensive and defensive linemen, few defensive backs, and so it's. Let
me ask you this, because this is one you will know. Offensive lineman, because I know a lot of mock drafts have them selecting Lomu out of Utah, and they say he's really athletic, but kind of a project. Having played as long as you have played and on the line as well, when you see these guys come in, how long does it take offensive linemen to really kind of get going? Because like running backs plug and play, right? I mean, running back, you put them in there and they're good to go. Linebacker, probably the same thing. Like, okay, you get in there, you're good to go. Offensive line would seem to be maybe the toughest position to kind of like learn. You got you got four of the guys that you're trying to work in concert with. How long does it take those guys before you can say? Because I always hate when they go, "This guy's a bust." I'm like, well, give him a couple years. Jesus, he's an offensive lineman. Let him 2 years. When do you know if the guy can play or not?
I think you got by the end of the second year, you've got to see some progress. I think you got to see him kind of coming along in year two. Maybe the guy's not a starter year one, but it is challenging if you think about it. They've got to know the run game, the pass game, and then not only that, they've got to be able to handle the line calls and the audibles at the line of scrimmage. So that's a lot for a rookie to handle if you think about it, because everything is predicated on the center's calls. And so it's really, really tough. It's tough to be on the road when there's noise and hear some of those calls. And then the other thing that's really the wake-up call is the speed of the game is drastically different than in college. It just is. And I think some guys, they have problems adjusting to that. Now, the big, strong guys that are really athletic, hey, they can work on their footwork and eventually kind of come around. But, man, when I hear project, I always kind of get a little concerned, because if you're already 22 or 23 and you're a project, then what are the things that need to come along? I mean, and so I'd rather, have someone that can go out and play, or at least fill in and be the first sub off the field for any of the linemen. So give
me an idea, because I've always wondered how tough this is. So you're on the line. I mean, it's funny because when you played, there wasn't a lot of splitting tight ends out and doing all that stuff. Like, tight ends were on the line for the most part. And by the way, for those people that didn't watch football back in the day, tight ends didn't get fucking free releases back in the day. They didn't they didn't roll out the red carpet for them and say, hey, what do you want to run? You go, okay, I'll just get out of your way. You just go and we'll get out of your way. Like, it It was tough as hell getting off the line, man. It was like, oh, if I could just make it past him, I'll be good. But I got to get past. So tell me what's going through your head. You're on the line. You have the play in your head. You kind of are looking to see, what kind of leverage the defense is playing, but you also have to be listening to what's going on to see if something is changed. And how does that change? Give me an idea so we get all that. You get in play call, you go to the line, you're checking everything out, and then you got to listen for something. How might that change what you do? What's being said by the center or the quarterback? How might that change, and how quickly do you got to adjust to what you're going to do?
Okay, so for example, we're playing the Super Bowl. Joe's the quarterback. We're playing the Broncos, and gets up to the line of scrimmage. We've called a great play, 3-jet flanker drive. I'm running Jerry's running a drive route that's about 4 yards underneath. He's going to get the linebackers to step up because it's Jerry Rice, and I'm running a 15-yard crossing pattern behind him, and I'm psyched because there's going to be a lot of space. So I get up the line of scrimmage, and all of a sudden they're playing man to man. Like, what? Like, are you crazy? So Joe gets up and he audibles, black 59 razor. You got people have heard this, seen this.
Yep.
So I had a pretty good split. So sometimes I have a tighter split, and you got to change it up because you don't want to say, oh, tight split. He's trying to stay in and pass block. So you bounce it around. But I had a pretty good split, and it was like, holy crap, 59 razor. I didn't want to give it away. But I had a kind of wide split. So the linebacker right on me, man, he's got some space if he wanted to cut underneath me because now I'm pass blocking. 59 is max protection. That means the backs are in. It's a two-person route. So John Taylor's running his route. Jerry Rice is running a post. Everybody else is blocking. So all of a sudden, I've got to take a quick, hard inside step because I don't freaking want to get Joe blasted by a free running linebacker. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I got to freaking get that right foot planted hard inside right away and get a good shot on the guy because I don't want to give it up. And he wasn't blitzing hard inside, but a lot of times he could have been. And so that kind of like wakes you up right away. Like, holy crap, I thought I was going to have a sweet route and now I'm pass blocking. And so if it's not a touchdown, I'm usually pissed.
Now, did 59 razor always mean max protect?
Yeah, 50 was a max protect.
Okay. Because, I've heard 59 razor all the time.
So that's one-on-one. And so you've got to be able to account for the blitz and you got to account for stunts and things that you don't know. So you keep everybody in because you need all the time that you can get as a quarterback in order to have your receivers run their route and shake free.
Got it. Were there any audibles that benefited you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Give me an idea of one of those.
So let's see what would be one. We actually had a play action, and when we had Roger and we had Ricky running at running back, it would be great because they're a threat. So we had a draw called Fox 2 run, and we'd run play action off of it. Like I'd have Fox 2, I'd have a corner route, I'd have a seam route. I'd have all these different things off of that because the play action would suck up the linebackers. And I'm telling you, up until like the last year or two in the league where Tampa started running the Tampa 2, and then they'd never step up, which was frustrating. Like we could run play action. I could run hook. So Steve, we're playing, I think it was the Raiders, and he audibled. I was on the left side, so it's Fox 3. He audibled to Fox 3 Dancer, which is all go. Dancer would be an all go route, so everybody's running. So the outside guys are running full blast, and I'm going down the seam. And man, and so if you get the right coverage, which was against too deep, the safeties would see John Taylor and Jerry Rice, flying down the sideline. So they they'd widen the linebackers, then the only guy that can keep me from getting down the middle of the field and having no one around. And so we run that little fake to, I think it was Ricky, and then bam, right down the middle, touchdown. It was great. And you're like psyched because you're like, oh yeah, like sometimes it's just like roulette out there. Like, I hope these guys play this coverage at the line of scrimmage, and all of a sudden they're not, and like audibling out of your play. Or sometimes it's the opposite. You got a crappy play, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, all right, sweet, they're going to audible into something good for me. Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
And that's, to be honest, if you think about it, and I've said this, and I've probably said this to you before, but almost every player on the field controls their destiny. If you're an offensive lineman, you control how you play. If you're a defensive lineman, you control how you play. If you're a safety, if you're a running back, but if you're a wide receiver, you don't control your success. It's all dependent on the quarterback throwing you the ball. And that's why you have these wide receivers freak out. And they're open, or they're getting separation, and the quarterback's mad at him, or he's throwing it to the other guy, or he's not looking right. And it's just like, and as a receiver, let's face it, if you come up with 2 catches after the game for 15 yards, everyone thinks you suck. And these guys just can't handle it. And so
it's not just the quarterback, it's the offensive line has to protect so the quarterback can't throw it to you.
But the only guy only players that don't control their success by and large are the receivers. Yeah. And it's hard. Like, it's hard to be open multiple times and have the quarterback not see you, or say, oh yeah, sorry, I was throwing to this other guy, and whatever. So
what was the difference between Joe and Steve's cadence?
Oh, great call. You know what? I'd love to be able to tell you what it is, but I can hear it. I can hear it in my sleep. And I could always, I knew it so well for both of them. You could always get a jump on the snap or just be ready to go. Yeah. But I couldn't tell you exactly. Okay. I think Steve like had a little deeper voice in his. Yeah. But I knew it, like, innately, like I would just respond to it.
He did he was 59. You guys used 59 razor all the way through, because Steve said that too, didn't he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it went all the way through.
It did.
That's so classic. And the defense had to know it was max protect, right? Didn't they know?
So like if you played like the teams that you'd play in your division twice a year, if you hit them once, then they probably would. We actually had there was a couple times we had dummy audibles that were quote part of our real play calling scheme. And so we do like the reverse of what the play was.
Okay.
So maybe you'd audible to a slant, and you really had a slant and go on, and you did the old dipsy do.
The sluggo.
Yeah,
as John Gruden loved to say. Oh, it's a sluggo.
I love the sluggo.
Yeah. Okay. How many times did you not hear an audible and were supposed to protect and went up for the route?
Great.
And how many times did you just do it because you're like, screw it, I'm going out on the route?
So it wasn't that many times, but there was a time or two on the road where like Steve or Joe would audible and you couldn't necessarily hear it. Mm-hmm. And so just to be safe, I'd kind of half-ass my release just in case there was a linebacker coming in or whatever. Hey, am I going out for a pass? And then you got to go, okay, well, I don't want to go into somebody else's zone. So I'd always kind of like run a 10-yard stop, like, hey, or if I saw open space, I'd go to it. But it was only it's probably 3 or 4 times in my career, but it is unnerving.
Yeah. Just kind of loiter in the area.
It's 100% true. Just loiter, be uncovered.
Exactly. All right, a couple more Niner questions. How important this year is it to find someone to take the load off Christian McCaffrey?
You know what? We say that, and we've said that for the last couple of years, and the guy's just a freaking stud. I love that kid.
So why? Who
But
doesn't? How could you not?
Man, he is just such a good. He's just a great guy to have on the team. I think it's more important because you know what? I think as everybody's career gets a little bit longer, it's nice to have some downtime during the course of a game. And obviously you want your best players on the field every play, but you also want them fresh, and you want them fresh in the fourth quarter. You want them fresh in December and January. And what people don't realize is getting extra carries accumulates abuse on the body, for the course of a season. And so if you're only if in December all of a sudden you're all knotted up, you've been bruised, banged up, and whatever, you're not 100%. Now nobody's 100%, but you'd love to have your best guys at 95% instead of 89. And so I think we'll see some more of that this year. And I would love to see it more on run plays. I still would love to see him on the field catching the ball. And so hopefully that's not a tell. But I also think it's time that, and I think we're going to see a tight end get drafted this year. I kind of feel the same for George. Freaking stud. I mean, I love that guy too. Yeah. And he's just a beast. But it's just nice to have another guy that can get in there, do some things. We need a couple younger guys at those positions going forward. And it's tough when you have people that you feel like you're close to that have been with the team forever. And it's not like we're getting rid of them, but we need to bring the next generation up, because I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about, 4 or 5 years from now.
Yeah.
But it still is kind of weird, just the way you talk about it and the way you think about it. Jake Conscious was kind of a stud last year. And I think that's helpful, but I still do think we need like a young, more of a receiving tight end in the mix somewhere as a young guy, even if he's the third tight end for a couple years.
Yeah, I mean, the Niners have had, you look over the past 4 or 5 years or so, and the core they've had, right? And it's been kind of the same. They let a couple of them go, but it's like who the next guy is going to be? Okay, Purdy, most certainly, that's going to be your main guy. Maybe you look at the defensive line and go Collins, West, and Micah Williams. Like that's another 3. Maybe Pearsall is one of those guys.
Man, I'm hoping.
Yeah. No, man, I am too. I don't know if he's a 1. Maybe he is. I don't know. But I think if he can stay healthy, like he's a solid receiver. Like he's a guy that you put out there, like, 90%, 85% of your snaps and just let him do his thing. But we'll see this year. That last injury he got last year didn't look like much when they showed it on TV. And I was like, oh man, if he's one of those guys, it's like he's not a super huge guy. He's going to be one of those guys that falls funny and gets hurt and falls funny. I mean, football is just so hard on the body, as you know. It's like, can he stay? Now that's the question. That's the only question I have about him now, because the guy can play. Can he stay healthy?
Yeah, and he's still young. And he's probably obviously he's had more than a few unfortunate incidents to start.
Sure.
But I do see talent there, and I do see separation, and it's just we just got to get him on the field 100% of the time. But I agree with you. But I'm sure he's aware of it. I'm sure the trainers and everybody that's around are aware of it. But man, sometimes crap happens on the field. You just can't. You're unlucky. We can't be unlucky this year, man. We can't.
I know.
That's the last thing I want to do is deal with that every week.
I know. Well, when you came to the Niners, I don't remember you missing many games.
Didn't miss a lot of games. I had a couple surgeries in season. I had a shoulder surgery in season and played 5 weeks. Man, it was crazy. It was like psycho. Like I loved it. I loved being there.
Yeah, that's back in the day when somebody hits you in the head and they tap you on the. Do you ever anybody tap you on the inside of the leg and how many fingers do I have up?
yeah, more than a few times.
See, I mean, they were like, "You good?" And you're like, you don't even know what you're saying at the time. Like, yeah, I'm good. Where are we at? Like, we at a party somewhere? No, go back in. You're good. Okay, go go get them. And
I told you
okay.
my great concussion. I had a concussion. Tim McDonald from the Arizona Cardinals, who eventually played with us, is a great dude. Freaking drilled me in the first quarter. We were playing in Arizona, and I had a concussion, but I was like not all the way over the edge, but enough to like be in a dream state.
Yeah.
I played the whole game, and I remember like thinking it was a dream, or what do I do on this play, or do that. And I came back to watch film the next day, and I could hardly wait to see what I would do because I had no freaking idea. I didn't know how many catches I had. I didn't know if I scored a touchdown. I didn't know anything. And I was watching the film going, wow, what am I doing?
What?
That's crazy.
It shows you how old we are that we're laughing at this.
Yeah, like it's still funny. I can't help it. It's funny.
Well, when the Cowboys beat the Niners in the NFC Championship game, I can't remember what year it was, in Dallas. Troy Aikman said he can't remember anything about the game. He can't remember anything about the game. He went to the hospital. He's like, I don't remember that game at all. It's like, I mean, that's like, wow. Like, really? You don't remember the game and you don't remember a game? It's crazy to think like that.
Crazy. It is crazy. And then what?
I do.
I can't miss 2 days of practice because you have a concussion. That's ridiculous.
God, we've come a long way. Sometimes I think we go a little overboard, but it's probably in the athlete's best interest. But there are times that I'm like, good grief. I mean, we just put flags on everybody and we'll just head them out. But I mean, at least we get water now. Water used to be a reward. Oh, you don't get water. Like, I'm dying over here. I need water. No, we got to run give me 4 110s first. Like,
in high school, you got to be convulsing before I give you water.
I was like back in the Junction Boy days.
Oh my
like, you
God.
want water, you got to earn your water.
Man,
well, I'm
that's such
die.
a great movie. That's so true. Really was.
I mean, it's amazing where we've come because we're about the same era. You were a little bit before me, but kind of the same.
Kind of same.
Tough coaching, screaming, yelling. I mean, demanding, and it was more authoritarian than it was like collaborative back in the day. That's just the way it was. Like, coach was coach, players were the players, and there wasn't a whole lot of mingling going on there. Like, I always tell people, Brent, that like I love Lute. He's one of my favorites, but I didn't go to Lute's office like just kick back on the couch and go, so what's up? How's your weekend? Like, there's no chance. And I guarantee you, none of you guys did that with Bill. None of you guys walked in and go, hey, how was the weekend, Bill?
You were afraid if he was talking to you, even if you did something good.
Exactly. It's totally
I told
different.
you this too. Like, if you screw up at practice, there was like, he'd do this a couple of times a year. He'd freaking throw his hat down or something and start screaming at your position coach that he sucked. And you're like, holy crap.
That's the word.
Coach. The coach is sitting there all red-faced. Bill's screaming at him, don't you coach these guys? I don't know what the hell they're doing.
Coach these guys. Oh my God, that is so good. I mean, what a great technique too. Because now the player is seeing you yelling at your coach, and you feel like you're letting your coach down. And then your coach is going to get mad at you for like
absolutely. It funnels down for sure.
Great trickle down.
It is a great
trickle down.
Nothing makes silence in the whole practice field like the head coach screaming at another coach that he's failing. Like, there's dead silence for the next 3 minutes.
Totally dead silence. Nelly used to do that occasionally. I was like, oh God, we better pick it up a little bit. Because everybody likes the assistant coaches too. Absolutely. Assistant coaches like uncles. Everybody likes the uncles, right? Like, yeah, it's cool. I don't want to get my uncle yelled at. Oh God, my uncle's getting taken to the woodshed over there.
I don't want to be responsible for my uncle getting fired.
I better sort this out. Oh, so good. Well, it's great to have you back. Maybe we'll do it after the draft. We're going to McKay's next Tuesday. So yeah, jump on that private jet and come on out, and you can regale us with youth soccer stories.
I got to say, Josh dressing up like a bum. That's the great
tell,
stuff.
tell the family I said hi. Tell Dan I said hi.
Same, brother.
And we'll do it. I'll give you a buzz. Maybe we'll do it after the draft and kind of sort through what's going on.
Let me know. I'm sure.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you. Have a great day, Brent.
Great
having you on again.
Thanks, Tommy.
See you, Brent. All right, that was he's just so good. I miss him. Like that again. I've said this. That was always the worst part about football season ending or whatever sport. You don't talk to them for a while. You don't talk to those all the guys that I have on the show right now. Those are the guys that I'm doing this show with. Steve Kerr, Brent Jones. I mean, Steve's a little busy, young, so he comes on when he can. Drew Amenda. I've had Dave Fleming on a couple of times talking to him. Those are my guys. Those are guys I enjoy talking to, like having beers with, talking sports, and not having beer. You just sit down and have a drink, talk sports. So I love having Brent on. And so this week, okay, here's what we have this week, just to let you know. We're going to have Jay Billis on, talking NBA playoffs. We're going to have Mike Breen on, talking NBA playoffs. We've already had a chance to talk to Brock Heward. We're going to play that for you tomorrow. For those that don't know who Brock is, ESPN color commentator, Fox color commentator, former Washington Husky quarterback, 4 or 5 years in the NFL. He's been doing Brock and Salk up in Seattle for, I think he said 17 years now, doing a radio show up there. He's just a good dude. He's just a really fun guy to talk to. So we talked to him. Bergie's coming over Thursday. So we're going to do a draft, and I know it's going to be crowded. There's going to be a lot of voices on Thursday. So hopefully you will tune in here, and we're going to take you from 4 to 5:30 maybe. We'll start at 4 and just get Bergie's thoughts on the draft. And this isn't going to be if you want to go somewhere and dig into the draft and dig into the players and hear people talk about their strengths and weaknesses and that's not going to be this. That's not going to be this, because I know these guys and I've watched a lot of them play, but I don't know them that well. So I'm not going to sit here and just bullshit you guys about what I know, what I don't know about the players. But we'll talk about team needs, stuff like that, how maybe a position benefits a certain team, specifically in the division. We'll see what the Rams get, what Seattle get. Although we're not going to be around for the whole first round, so we may not even see that. I don't know how long we're going to stay around for the draft, but yeah, we'll just sit out in the back. Should be. I think it's going to be sunny by Thursday. Have a couple beers, and we'll take some comments if you guys want to join in. And so we'll do that. And that's Thursday. And I think Brain's going to be Friday. I think Billis will be tomorrow, and then next Tuesday. Why don't you throw that up again, just to let everybody know where we're going to be next Tuesday. There you go. Out at McKay's. That's so funny that Brent knows him. How great is that? Small world. So we're going to be at McKay's Beer Garden next Tuesday, 4 o'clock. Look at that lineup. Barrows, Inman, Mayoko. Get out of here. That's almost too good. An embarrassment of riches is what it is. And so we'll have all kinds of Niners talk. Talk about, obviously, the draft, who they took, how they fit in this year, how, competing in the West with the Rams and the Seahawks. And I never mentioned Arizona because I don't know what Arizona's doing. I think they're kind of rebuilding, but NFL is weird that way. NFL, you think, this team sucks, and all of a sudden they're good. You're like, well, what happened? What happened? It wasn't a slow climb. That was they had 6 wins last year. They got 11 this year. So we still probably won't talk Arizona. we'll talk Niners and do all that. So come on out. Have a beer. Let's see. Let me just check for you real quick before I go away. Let's see what we got for Pleasanton next Tuesday. 64. Oh, nice day. Maybe a little sweater. Definitely shorts weather. Go out there, grab something to eat, grab some beers. And so, something I was going to bring up to Brent. I got to throw this out there to you guys. Because this is something I thought about last night. When you drop food on the ground, is it a 3? I think it's a 5-second rule, 3-second rule, they call it. I think it's dumb because it matters what the surface is and it matters what the food is. Like if I drop a piece of steak on a carpet, you think I'm eating that? Even if I pick it up within 3 seconds? Hell no. Not a chance. If I drop a jelly bean on a hardwood floor, and I don't know why we always say hardwood. Is there softwood floors? Are there softwood floors that you like sink in? I don't know. So if you drop it on a hardwood floor, I've probably grabbed a jelly bean that's been there a couple hours and just popped that thing in. And you might be saying, oh, who cares? It's a jelly bean. It's a hardwood floor. Not dirty. Just cleaned it. And it's a jelly bean. It's not like jelly beans, they grabbing all kinds of dust. It's a hard shell on the outside. All you got to do is pick it up and go. You're good. Moving on. If there's a piece of meat that's laying on the ground, no. But that's a no. Grape, I'll pick it up and wash it off. No big deal. Blueberry, pick it up and wash it off. Like it's all like what the food is and what the floor is. It's just, again, hardwood floor, carpet. Carpet, I don't really care. A jelly bean on a carpet, no. It's on a carpet. I don't care if it's within 3 seconds. So I only say that to set this up because I thought about this last night. And you know the plastic toothpicks that you have, the ones with the little brush on the end that you kind of, yeah, my dog does too. You know, you get in there and do a little scrubbing and, you know, good for dental hygiene, good for gum health, promoting good gum health. Yeah, I know, Lou, I'll be right with you. So, and I don't know, might have had tri-tip that day or steak or whatever. How long, like if I ate 2 hours ago or 4 hours ago or 6 hours ago, and I use that little brushy thing to like, you know, clear out some steak in between my teeth, like if it's 2 hours, do you spit it out? Or do you just swallow it? 4 hours, spit it out, swallow. It's a spit swallow question, but it's a different variety. Or is it always like like overnight? And that's an automatic, like, right? Like, of course, if it's overnight, I'm hoping you passed out the night before, because if you didn't, you got to work on that. I mean, my dental hygiene sucks, but at least I can clear things out that night. But maybe I don't clear it out as quickly as I should have. So, what's the time frame? What are we working with there? What are we working with on the toothpick and poking out the meat? Is it automatic, like out of the mouth, or do you like, I'm in a car and nowhere to spit this? You know, it's my meat to begin with, so it's probably not gonna kill me. So I don't know if anybody has any answers for that one, but I just thought I'd throw it out there because I did wonder last night, like, what's the protocol for this? Can I do any damage to myself with this? Great, I'll sallow it. That's it. I knew as soon as we get to the swallow spits portion of the show, it's like just devolves into, well, yeah, I know what I know what it's going to devolve into. And so, oh man, depends on how much it's stuck. Like, well, it's not like a whole like piece of steak. It's like the sinew and gets in there. I wish I had teeth that were just jammed together, like nothing can get in there. That would be beautiful. And so, all right, again, I'm going to get out of here. Tomorrow is Brock Heward, Jay Billis. Wednesday, I don't know if we have anything Wednesday. We have anything Wednesday? I don't know. Maybe we'll play Billis Wednesday. Maybe I'll do Billis tomorrow night because he can't do it till tomorrow night anyway. Maybe that works better for you guys, that we can do Billis on Wednesday. Bergie on Thursday, Mike Breen on Friday, and then McKay's on next Tuesday. So there you go. Boom. We're all good to go. Boom. So everybody have a great day. Be safe out there if you're driving. The roads get a little slick with the rain. It's raining just enough to slick up the roads. So be safe out there. Thanks for joining the show. Like, subscribe. I say it once a month, whether I need to or not. It's so funny. That's like the first thing people say usually when they do these shows. I say it like, I don't even know if I say it once a week. I'm like terrible at that. But I figured if you guys are kind of got the hang of this, like if it hits you, if the spirit hits you, like, subscribe, or you know what? Hell with like, subscribe. Just tell your friends, join in on the fun. And then during the summer too, I've already stacked up a few people that are come out to the backyard once we get this weather rolling. We should be good to go. Get some beers out there in the backyard. Get the backyard rolling again with some of my my buddies that I haven't done the show with in a while. So we will do that. Basketball, baseball, whatever. We'll do it. I'll get Drew back out here too. Talk a little hockey. I wanted to do hockey this week, but it seemed like it's kind of jamming it in. But I wouldn't mind getting the Stanley Cup preview. I watched 3 games this week. The Boston Buffalo game, that was a fun one. That was a nice one. So thanks everybody. I appreciate it, and we will talk to you again tomorrow. See ya.
And remember this, Tommy T, cash and tickets is what it's all about.